Hey, welcome to the Nathan Newberry live show. What I'm going to do today is do a full audit on someone's account. Today, we're going to do a fitness trainer. And a fitness trainer, we're going to look at them, what they're doing online. We're going to look at their content, their schedule, their bio. We're going to look if they have a website, what their funnel is going to look like. We're going to do a full audit and breakdown on someone that's a fitness person online and they're trying to get more leads and revenue. I'm Nathan Newberry, and today we're going to really dive in to kind of like go over how we're going to help support people online. So if you're a fitness trainer, or if maybe you're this guy, Tanner Permez, we're going to really kind of dive in. Hopefully this is helpful for you today. This is going to be really fun. I love doing these audits and stuff. Let me share my screen here. And what we're going to do is we're going to dive into just kind of sharing a few different things. At the very beginning, I just want you to really get some clarity around who I help and who I am. I help founders set up winning offers, compelling content, and converting ads with their own sales teams in 4 weeks, okay, so that their business grows without them. And so many times what we want to look at is really kind of diving in from start or scale. This is who I am. I was a Christian pastor for years, and then I got into marketing, and I ran a marketing agency for 9 years before I sold it, and then I got into sales. And in the sales things, I did real well because I cared for people, would have thought. And then people kept on asking me, what was I doing? How was I helping people? How was I doing so well, making so much money and revenue? And then people started training people. And then on top of that, what I started doing is I started managing sales teams where we're doing millions a month. And then now what I do is I combine both, where so many times we have, specialists that or people that want more leads and revenue. Those are what business owners. And if you're online and you're wanting to build an authority, that's what you're truly wanting, is more leads and more revenue. And so you might be asking me that, and I know how to be able to get you more leads and more revenue. So here's kind of like the paradigm shift. If you're looking at things, is you could be really good at sales and don't have any leads, and you don't have a business. Or you can have a lot of leads and horrible at sales and the conversion's not there either, and you don't have a business. So there's a big overlap with marketing and sales, and that's what I want to teach people how to do, is have consistency in everything you do. And so some of the tactics that we want to look at real quick, and then I'll dive into this full audit here, is you need awareness. So if we're looking at Jason, for instance, he has 1,900 followers, right? And what we got to look at is how do we get more eyeballs to his account? And so when we're looking at this framework here, you need to be on stages, speaking, maybe even write a book down the road. But the big thing is simply just getting ads to your account. And so once you get followers and eyeballs, then your whole process and thinking about content is to build trust. And so the way that we build trust is by consistent content, daily stories, reels, YouTube content, maybe being on podcasts or having your own podcast, creating lead magnets and value that you're giving people, emails, to just spark a conversation. And when you spark a conversation, then they're going to raise their hand and want to work with you because they're seeing the value that you have, and that they're giving through the trusted process. So many times what I've seen ads do, and I've been a part of these sales meetings before, and sales teams where they just drove an ad right to a sales conversation and it missed the middle of the step. And I don't know if you've seen this or encountered this at all, but in just my sales career before, it was the hardest thing. What I had to do is either the sales call was longer or it was like 2 to 3 calls deep, because what I had to do is I had to sell 2 things. I had to sell the trust process, which your content and your funnel should do already. And then the second is then I have to sell my offer or my service. And so this is really a crucial part in the middle step of building trust, so that the time the sales conversation happens, it's not a cold audience or even warm. It's like hot because you've warmed them up a lot. And so here's kind of like the baseline funnel that you want to look at. Is the goal is to have a closed deal, right? Here's the outcome that you want. And so the way that you want to view this is run an Instagram ad or a LinkedIn ad. You got to get awareness to offer a lead magnet or value with them following you, or you're on a podcast or you're on a stage speaking, you give a lead magnet, which is just value that then is from your Instagram account that then sparks a conversation. You can do this through inbound and outbound DMs. You could call it sell by chat, SBC, appointment setter, or opener, but someone's there, or you're there, that's sparking and carrying that conversation to qualify them. And then once you do this, you've encountered this, guys, before, is like if you follow someone, right? If you follow someone, instantly the algorithm pushes their reels and their posts and carousels and stories to the very top of your feed so that you can consume it more. And so this is why I have the flywheel here. And then if you do retargeting ads, they're going to be seeing you pretty consistently. And the whole process of this is to nurture, to have a conversation, to qualify them before you offer a book call. And when you book a call, after they're on your account, then you send them what we call a video sales letter, which is a simple training that breaks down how you can help them more. It goes over your services, who you are, your testimonials. It goes over the challenges that are common for most of your clients, the solutions and goals that they typically have and want. And then you go over the pillars of how you can help them do that. And so the time that you have them on a call is just so much better. They're warmed up. They know who you are. They have a better understanding of how you're going to help them. And so then it just comes through with doing a good discovery on that sales call and really kind of just diving in if you can truly help them. And then you dive in and ask for the sale, and you're going to close a lot more deals. And so this just carries the weight of so much funnels and automations and systems. If we can really look at driving more traffic to you, building more content that builds trust, and so the sales conversation happens. So let's start here with Tanner here. He's a fitness guy here, and his picture right off the bat looks good. Some of the content, like if he's a fitness guy, which he talks about, he's a fitness guy. He's jacked, right? So this is a good picture that kind of just clarifies his authority and clout, right? I would probably look at some of his bio here. I help busy men lose 20 pounds in 90 days without giving up their food freedoms, with the arm here, apply here. So the way that the bio works is, for instance, when someone's working or seeing you, what you got is milliseconds. So millisecond on your phone, someone's like going through on a feed and they stop and see some of your videos, or they stop and they see your ad. You have milliseconds to stop the scroll and have a call to action for either them to follow you or to DM you for a specific thing of added value. But what's going to happen is they're going to look at your bio. And if it's too long this way, what we do is we skim. So it needs to be shortened. So I would cut it off right here at 90 days and then put this on another line. So with the Instagram bios, for instance, you have 150 characters, but you want to skim. And so the top line here is you want to be able to do your I help statement. And this is not a bad one here, 20 pounds, it's tangible. In 90 days, it's clear on what they're going to receive with it. And then I like this, without giving up their food freedoms, which is a big challenge for most people, right? So you want to put that on a second line. And then you want the third line or the fourth line, or actually the middle one, at least second or third line, depending if you need to have a first I help statement. But on this line, it needs to show the credibility, right? Like you were overweight and you personally lost 50 pounds, or you've helped hundreds of people, or you were an athlete, an ex-baseball player, or, ex whatever. Or you have other things like if, he's a Christian, or he's married, or if there's other things that could connect and relate, to that audience, that would be good credibility on that second line. And then you want, instead of apply here, what I would do is give value. So you want a lead magnet, like DM me, the word fitness to start, or, download my 10-step guide, or here's 10 recipes, grab them here. And so that way the link is here and it's the lead magnet, just adding more value. And when you add more value, then it gives more clarity that someone really kind of sees how they can, support you more. So he has this right here. It looks like we're on TikTok as well, from Canada. If he only works with people overseas, that's one thing. But if we want to look at how can we do this, with local people, then you would want to say from Canada, or I work with Canadians, right? And then you go through right here in the highlights here. This is a good thing is, he has transformations, he has motivations, gym stuff, lifestyle things. You'd probably want a start here now, and then more testimonials. I'm allergic to you guys. And then the pin post here, it looks like he has 2 pin posts here. It looks like this is before and after. That's always good. And then here's like, oh, this is, I think, is a famous guy maybe. And so this is like credibility that he knows what he's talking about. And then you want to do like testimonials too. And then let's see how often he's posting. So this is 2 days ago. He's not talking about fitness, just lifestyle and his dog. 6 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago. So there's no consistency on like a strategy of content. This is not bad, but some of this stuff, it looks like it's more of like a bio, um, like documentary type of style. Like I would add value in essence of like looking at, hey, here are the top 5 recipes, or here's a meal, or here's like 5 exercises, or this is what I'd do if I had to start all over losing 20 pounds, like stuff like that. That would be relating credibility. Here's a client testimonial, like that's solid. Like that needs to be up in your bio or even a pinned post up here. That's going to give more clarity of someone that's skimming through and seeing some of that stuff. And then let's look at TikTok where he's at there. So he has 500 followers there. Fat loss coach, right? Follow on Instagram, apply for training, DM me on Instagram. So I don't know if I would say, hey, go to Instagram because, you know, you're building a following here. So I wouldn't do that. I try to get people conversations. So it looks like this is old stuff. Like he's not cross posting. Like the simple way to do things like this is good, is just like repost the same things. Like get a scheduler, or you know, have a, you know, an assistant that can help you just upload some of these things. Like that's going to help a lot with consistency and content. The stories, looks like he's not consistent on stories either. So I don't know how consistent of a business this is for him. uh, my guess is that it's not. This is probably a secondary thing, not a full-time thing. Because if it was a full-time thing, I think you would get really serious about posting consistently stories and reels. And if you want this to be full-time, like if you're in the same boat as Tanner, like you need to go through a stint of time where you're posting consistently and that you're running ads, and really getting clear on like gaining clients. And then you just got to build like a clarity around the numbers. Like the cool part about this, let me pull this up. And this is what I give everybody, my clients too. But it's like, if you're wanting to do like, most of the time people are just like, I want to break free from a day job. So like, let's say just 10K, right? Let me do the math with you and say his program is probably like 3K, right? Or it should be that, right? One more zero. So that means that we need to close a deal a week, 3 a month. Okay, that means you need to DM people, 23 people a day. That's it. You need to have 7 conversations, and boiling down this whole conversation, if you want this calculator, just DM me calculator and I'll give this to you. But he just needs like 4 booked calls a week, right? So even if you're part-time doing this at the beginning, you could find time to have 4 sales calls and 4 conversations. 23 a day, you know, and book, you know, 4 calls a week, and you can have freedom in your business and life. Like that's how it doesn't need to be complicated whatsoever. You just need to consistently look at this. So this is why the framework of everything is you need to dial in your content consistently, run ads, and then have 23 conversations to get to 10K a month. So this is really where it's like you have 4 booked calls, and then you build like a simple like video sales letter that is a 10 to 15 minute video just explaining, you know, the same things. Like, this is who I am, these are the challenges most people have, this is the goals most people have. Like for this guy, it was like, hey, they want to lose 20, you know, pounds and have their, you know, high school body back, right? I would even get clear of like who that is. If it's men, okay, busy men losing 20 pounds, right, in 90 days. So in 90 days, what that's going to look like, where they can have a bunch of food. Like I would talk about like fun food that you have. But like if you have that as an ad running and your content's primed and you have stories with call to actions and you're booking, you know, 4 calls a week, you're going to have a business with that lifestyle freedom that you want. So make sure that you're dialing this in. Like I want to give as much value as you possibly can. Some clarity points that I think Tanner can look at to improve on is really just looking at consistent content, maybe optimizing some things here, like getting some more lead magnets and value there, cross post some things there to your other channels. And then you could just have 23 different conversations a day. If you can do that every single day, even Monday through Friday, now you're talking about weekends, like you're going to have a business that's 6 figures plus. Like it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent and focused and calculated. And that's what I help with. If you're wanting more of that freedom to break through with some of that stuff, like, and you want to go to these different stages and you want to get results and you want to follow my framework here, just like I have on my, offer with all the clients I serve, and you need some time, like that's what I do with breaking down the 30-day sprint that really kind of crystallizes your offer, helps you with your content, puts in an appointment setter to help you book those calls, and helps you launch ads in all 30 days or less. Like we want to build a whole system for you to get free from your life and business and really scale. This is how you do it. But Tanner, hope you all the best. And if you are a fitness person and you need that help, like happy to kind of see if I can even help you and qualify for a guarantee that we have. So let me know if we can support you along the way. Thanks for tuning in to the live show today. If you need anything, DM me. Happy to support you and help you.